Sup, everybody? Carson, Nick, Glasshouse Films Midnight Review of Aquaman.
Aqua, bro.
Yeah, Aquaman. So Aquaman. Oh, okay, all I want from this film, it can be dumb as a bag of rocks, and I'm kind of thinking it will be. All I want it to be, though, is not only fun, but sincere. Like, if he's gonna be Aqua Bro, let's make him Aqua
Make
Bro.
him really broy.
Like, go for it.
I guess I don't, like I said on the way here, I don't really have any expectations for this movie. So I'm like, I'm telling myself, like, I can't be let down.
Yeah.
Like, I've already decided that the DC, I'm not gonna say the DC universe. I think the DC universe has a lot of like really cool flavor.
Yeah.
It's just like,
It does actually have some pretty...
learn to edit a fucking movie. Anybody who's working on those. I don't know if it's the same dude.
I will say, James Wan, I have a lot of trust in James Wan, because not only did the dude, I mean, he grinded out a lot of great independent films, you know, like Saw, Dead Silence,
I like Saw,
Death Sentence. And then when he went up in the ranks a little bit, got a little bit bigger budgets under him. Conjuring, Conjuring 2 are both really good films. Then, under like the worst conditions possible, he took over Furious 7, where his star died like halfway through.
I did see that one. Yeah.
I don't know which ones you've seen. I
just haven't seen the latest one. I was thinking the latest one was the seventh one. Yeah.
8. But yeah, he came in and he knocked it out of the park. It's I think it is my favorite of the Fast and Furious movies. But you still don't lose his flavor in that. So I really feel like kind of like with James Gunn, with what Disney did originally. They're like, okay, you've got a distinct voice. Here's the other weird thing. James Wan has always wanted to do an Aquaman film.
That's always good. I just hope that, like, sometimes it seems like with these movies that you wonder how tight of a grip, like, the producers have on, like, how the character's portrayed.
Yeah.
They're like, you can't do this because we're going to do this later. And I feel like if there's anybody that's going to be kind of guilty of that, it's DC, considering they jumped into the scene with, like, the crossover event. They were like, here's the crossover event.
I gotta say,
maybe it'll work reverse, though, where they did the crossover event and they're like, well, we kind of established, like, their shtick. Go, like, do what you want with them.
Well, what I was gonna say is I think that's a lot more the case for Batman and Superman. With Aquaman, I feel that they were like, we don't know what to do. And as soon as someone stepped up and he's like, I got an idea, they're like, sounds good, let's do it. Because honestly, this looks very, I mean, for all the obvious reasons and more, this looks incredibly different than Justice League, Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman.
I'm stoked for anything that doesn't have Superman in it. And in the same vein, stuff that doesn't have, like, Wonder Woman in it, because they come from this realm of, like, the characters involved, like, all the characters involved, it's like Wonder Woman and, like, the, you know, like, the Greek gods kind of, and then Superman and every other godlike alien are just, like, so far above everyone. There's such a huge power discrepancy in the DC universe that, like, that's what kind of ruined a lot of things ruined Justice League, but a big part of it was like, okay, Superman showed up, like, we know the movie's over now, and he just hands the bad guy his fucking ass on a plate, and like, that's it. I'm more interested in, you know, like, people, I don't know, just not having these crazy power level differences. Like, take, like, the Thor movies. The Thor movies, it's like, even most of the bad guys associated, like, in the Thor movies, if they were to show up in someone else's movie, they'd just be fucked.
Yeah.
They'd be so done for. You see the kinds of people that Thor punches in, like, the third movie, and you're like, well, I guess those aliens must be really strong, and I'm sure glad that, like, Iron Man doesn't have to deal with them or whatever, because they'd probably get clowned. And I kind of, like, I like that they keep that separate. And then the same thing with an Infinity War, how they don't really bring Thor in. They give a reason to not bring Thor in to the movie. And when he does show up, he just clowns everything that he's supposed to clown, and then he fights the big bad guy.
Yeah.
At like an appropriate power level.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the DC movies, like, don't do that.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited to see something that's like, just just give me something that's not
I mean,
like
so far they're
an actual God among men kind of thing.
After Batman v Superman, what makes the point better is after Man of Steel, all of their solo superhero movies have been pretty good. So like Wonder Woman. But
even Wonder Woman though, I guess it's like the only Wonder Woman is just like one character destroying everybody until like God guy character shows up. And
then she has to like finds the power within and then
finds
clowns
the power
them.
within, and it's like it's just one of those things where I just want to see people in a movie
struggle.
People with I just want to see some struggle.
The human condition.
No, I don't think Wonder Woman was a terrible movie. I think the weird CG in his head onto a younger body.
Yeah, that was
weird.
That was a little whack.
Fucking awful. But I'm not holding out too much for this movie, but
you're not holding out for a hero.
Yeah. But I want to see some Aqua Bro. I want him to go like full on.
Yeah.
Make him a bro.
If we're introduced to him like looking over his shoulder being like, I love Metallica, I'm like, alright, this movie wins.
I would like for them to just make a jab at I want them to make like another like Point Break joke.
That's always been
I know, that's why I want them to make that joke. It's been like the Iron Man Thor thing.
Yeah.
But I kinda want them to make a joke about like an actual surfer bro in a lighthouse and be like, I'm the Point Break, like I'm at my breaking point. I'm at my point break, brother.
Yeah, give me Aquaman played by
Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
All right, brother. Let's go watch this movie, brother. Hell yeah, brother.
Permission to come aboard.
Back. Let me zoom that back. There we go. Yeah, that's not vignetted. Yeah.
That's pleasantly surprised for me.
That movie was dumber than a bag of rocks. But holy damn, did I have fun with it.
Well, I mean, it's dumb because they make a point to be like, Aquaman's fucking dumb.
Yeah. Honestly, if this movie had the fucking balls and it wasn't called Aquaman, it would be the big budget DC version of Big Trouble in Little China. Like Mera would be the hero.
Yeah, like they kind of, There's like, man. I kind of wanted to like hate the movie more than that because there's so much dumb shit.
Pitbull's cover of Africa.
The Pitbull's cover of Africa. As they fly into Africa, into the Sahara.
Oh my god.
So, like, right off the bat, the thing that made this movie better. So, I think that this is by far the best DC movie.
I think it's one of the best.
I think it is by far the best.
I'll have to reevaluate Wonder Woman.
Because it just took, the character and fucking went with it and realized that, like, this guy's fucking talks to fish.
Yeah.
And they just went with it. And they made fun of a lot of, like, Aquaman-y kind of shit.
In a way, but they also played so much of it straight. They're like, hell yeah, we got cool fish buddies.
They played the straight guys straight. Like, they played, the bad guy was, like, really serious. It was like, I turned to you and I was like, it's so hard for him to look menacing while he's treading water. He's like, I'm gonna fucking get you, Aquaman.
Doggy paddle. Yeah.
And like, that stuff, you just kind of got to take it. Like, that's just Aquaman. That's never going to go away. They're never going to not tread water.
Yeah, but at the same time, they weren't afraid to be like, this looks goofy, but fuck you. This is great.
Yeah, like, but what I was going to say is the best part about the movie right off the bat was, except for two of them, but I distinctly remember the transitioning, like the editing was so much better.
Yeah, this film actually had a really good flow to it.
There was a lot. Water flow. There was actually a lot of really cool transitions though, like when it's going between like the lessons he learned as a kid and like how they're applied in like the present day. But then there was the flying into Africa to a Pitbull cover of Africa, and then the Manta stuff where Manta like he is like working in his workshop and he's like and it plays like 20 seconds of this song non-stop, no other sound effects or anything, and it's this lame. It reminded me of 50 Shades Free.
Yeah,
dude. Just like let's just play a whole ass fucking song.
So that part was so weird to me because like, okay, you don't need the time. You can just show him getting the armor. He's like, I'm gonna need to add a little bit of color to that.
Fun fact: you didn't need Manta at all in the movie.
I kind of liked it, but you are right. If you were to remove everything about Manta, you wouldn't actually miss a damn thing.
You would lose 20 minutes of the movie and none of the story.
Yeah. But I still liked Manta, but yeah, you have to contend. I have to contend with that. You know.
It's just so goofy, and he has the lamest fucking power set. Like, don't get close to me or I'll just beat myself.
Yeah,
like,
he's shitty Iron Man.
He shoots fucking nukes out of his face.
Which
and
is a bad place
they establish several times that if anything's too close to him when he blasts, he's just gonna annihilate his own fucking head. But I don't know, this movie was like had a lot of it really like turned up the cheese in a lot of parts. Yeah. But it also like wasn't super serious about it, or maybe it was serious about it, but the main character isn't very serious.
It was it was super
it's not like
earnest.
The movie wasn't like making fun of itself in the same way like Spider-Man was.
Yeah.
But it had the benefit of like a serious situation with a not super serious character.
Well, it actually fits his character because, you know, through the whole movie he's like, I don't want to be king, I don't want to be king. So he deflects using humor and trying to come off as kind of a dumb guy that you don't want to be king.
And the movie has like a really typical like hero's journey.
Oh yeah.
Like to a T, and that's okay. Like tropes are okay because the movie was entertaining.
Yeah,
I thought the underwater effects were really cool.
Yeah.
They didn't look, I mean, obviously they didn't look practical, but they didn't look dumb.
The movie was never boring
was cool.
at all.
It wasn't boring.
But I will say,
technology was cool.
I will say the film did feel overstuffed.
Because like that, there was so much that there was so much front loaded. Like they're talking about the seven different kingdoms. They're talking about physiology of Atlanteans. Talking about physiology of multiple Atlanteans. And I was like, for me, I was like, give me
the
that.
fall of Atlantis.
I was like, give me that info. I was like, give me the info.
Yeah, I guess I mean I liked that it was in there, but there got to a point I'm just like, shit.
I was totally okay with that stuff, though. I like getting that kind of information. Yeah. Because there's a difference between expositing the story.
Yeah.
Which I don't like.
It was baked in really well.
There's a difference between, to me, there's a big difference between expositing the story and then actually being like, you know, he's like, you're an Atlantean, your body can do this, instead of just having, like, this weird... There was this kind of, like, this weird kind of nebulous, like, power set. Like what I said before we went in. They make it very clear, like, this is what Atlanteans can do. Only some of them can breathe air. That's why we're not all just on land all the time. Like,
and the fact that it's like, okay, if Aquaman is fighting humans, he's going to beat them every day of the week. If he's fighting other Atlanteans, it'll be more of a fair fight.
And they established that, like, underwater, he'd lose to most Atlanteans because he spends most of his life fighting on land. And I was okay with a lot of that stuff because they really didn't exposit too much of the story, but they don't really need to because it's a really typical story.
Yeah, so, it's that graph. Like, the more complicated your world is, the more basic your story has to be. And that's actually a big reason why I give Avatar such a big pass.
Yeah, but a lot of the world stuff I thought was really cool. The crab people. Give me more. Oh my god, the crab people were not in the movie long enough.
Nope. I needed more of the
John
Kingdom
Rhys
of the Brine.
The Kingdom of the Brine.
Hell yeah.
Those guys got, like I said, those guys got big nuts, dude. They live underwater and they use magma as a weapon. That's sick.
Yeah.
I feel like the movie had a lot of visually cool stuff. I loved the way it was edited.
The film.
I would say, I guess, love the way it was edited compared to the rest of the DC movies. Like, if I was gonna get one more hard cut or like Star Wars prequels, like Sweep, you know, like a pinwheel kind of thing, I was gonna lose my shit.
Yeah, I liked
the fact that I didn't notice the editing most of the time. Or actually, I kind of did notice it because it was actually kind of good in some spots.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like okay, it was actually good, with the exception of like the 2.
Let's also not gloss over the fact this film is so colorful.
It was, I know. It was really good.
Man, Marvel.
I know. DC movies look better. They look so much better, but the content is so much worse. I just recently rewatched some clips from Justice League, and I was like, dang, this looks good. And then they did some, like, I forgot about that, like, that little anime moment where Flash trips and falls on Wonder Woman's boobs and then, like, stands back up again. I was like, oh. Yeah, I forgot that was, like, a really cool looking scene that ended with this.
Yeah, and I love the look of Gotham in that film. Like, I'm like, hey,
they look so
who's
cool.
Who's gonna put together the next Batman film? Do it like that.
They look so cool, and then you get 10 minutes in and you feel like you're 40 minutes in and nothing's happened.
Yeah.
But this movie was like, I feel like it hit all the right notes that DC like had been hitting, and then fixed a lot of other stuff.
Yeah.
Super, like, I said Wonder Woman was like a step in the right direction, and it's like this
is a more confident step in that right direction. And I do honestly believe that. I think that it comes down to Patty Jenkins and James Wan. Patty Jenkins had a very clear vision of Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
And I do think Warner Brothers wanted to rein it in a little bit, and then for Wonder Woman 1984, it's going to be even better because it's going to go. They'll give her more control, and I think with this film, because they're like, okay, I guess Aquaman movie, and James Wan's like, I'll do it, and they're like, okay. He's enthusiastic about doing it. Yeah. Let's give it to him.
And everybody's said it a million times, but I'll say it again. Like, James Gunn, like, kind of changed the game for everyone in the fact that, like, studios seemed like they wanted to have, like, this clear, like, what's our 5-year plan for the story these movies are going to go in and the kind of tone they're going to have. And, like, the Marvel movies were good, but they didn't get, like, great, really, to me, until, like, Guardians of the Galaxy. When they finally, a director got to put their own spin on it, and a bunch of studios are now, like, you know, we ended up getting, like, Deadpool, we ended up getting, like, a road movie, Logan, and we ended up getting
Into the Spider-Verse.
We got a better DC movie in Wonder Woman, and then an even better DC movie, for me at least, in Aquaman.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And so I hope they keep doing it, because, like...
This actually makes me more excited for the Joker film, because they're like, okay, we're doing something wackadoo.
Well, and the Joker movie's more like is more like a one-shot kind of story, right? Like an Elseworlds sort of thing?
Actually, I don't know about the Elseworlds kind of thing, but as far as I'm concerned, if they do that, awesome. Let's do that. I want more of that. Weirdly enough, because the Marvel thing with, like, the big arc and everything, I'm like,
we're 10 years in and we're not done. Is what it is. That's all you got to say. We're 10 years in and we're not even done.
Yeah, and it's like, that's cool. Let's have some really good one-shots, too.
And I think if someone's going to do that, it should be DC, because although I read a lot more Marvel than I do DC, I do think the Elseworlds DC stuff and the DC one-shots are, like, in general, better. Like, probably some of the best out there.
But I will say Marvel 1602, at least the first one, was really cool.
Yeah.
Really dug that one. But
there's cool stuff like that. You get a nugget like that every once in a while. But I feel like DC's a lot more consistent, though.
Yeah.
There's some cool Marvel stuff, though.
And then it would be cool to have more minor crossover. Like if we just had the Flash and Aquaman hanging out for a movie, or Wonder Woman and Superman being like, hey, let's go, like, fight some stuff.
And I feel like the reason that another reason that I think the one-shot stuff in the future would work better with DC is because the general public seems to know a lot more about just, like, the basic DC backstories because they've been on TV for a while. They don't they stand alone better now than I feel like Marvel does, because Marvel has like, if you're really gonna break Marvel down into like the two big ones, you have X-Men and Avengers.
Yeah.
All those are made up of their own people who all have their own backstories. Not all their backstories have been on TV for like 30 years.
Yeah, true.
So, but it's like we all know Batman, we all know Superman.
Yeah.
You know, Flash is like. I feel like a lot of their backgrounds are a lot of the origin stories for DC are a lot like simpler too, and they work better across across decades basically. Like they don't have to update them like they do for Marvel all the time.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, you know, like they make the joke in Deadpool, and hey, X-Men, outdated metaphor for racism in the 60s.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, they've kind of had to update that story.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, Iron Man didn't build his suit in Vietnam. Yeah, Captain America, he was just fucking dude, he was just frozen.
Yeah.
And they changed it a little bit.
When do they make him frozen by?
I have no idea.
Also, wasn't it
He
through,
punched Hitler in the face, ended World War II, and then he was like,
I need a nap.
he took a nap and he didn't wake up for 60 years.
Yeah, because throughout the 60s
He's
and 70s, it was someone that wasn't Steve Rogers. Like they had a lot of other Captain Americas.
I don't know.
Anyway, that's great.
We got a friend for that. Yeah, we got a friend for that.
Anyway, yeah, it was really fun. I definitely think it deserves to be seen on the big screen. Like there's a lot of
really
detail.
good looking.
And
if you can see, I don't know if they're showing it in IMAX.
They are.
They are.
Yeah, I heard that was the best way to see it. Yeah, absolutely, just a blast. I had fun with it. As I said, I'm just like, all right, I might need to take a nap now because that was a lot over a long period of time. But it was still fun. It was still great.
Yeah, it is not a. It is
overstuffed, not exhausting.
It is a long movie and somehow still a very dense movie.
Yes,
but not boring.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which was the most important thing.
Yeah, there was stuff moving, but it wasn't scattershot. It was like, oh, we've had a long bit with Aquaman. Let's go see what the bad guys are up to. Very naturally for a minute. Okay, we're back to Aquaman.
Yeah, it wasn't like they didn't sweep across the screen like, what's the bad guy doing?
Yeah.
I liked it. It felt like it all worked.
Yeah.
I expected nothing, and I went in, and by the time we came out, pleasantly surprised. There's no crazy, like, I don't know. There's nothing too crazy going on, like, story. Like, it's a hero's journey movie. Yeah. But it's entertaining.
Yeah.
So it's not breaking any new ground.
Any damage that happens is like, okay, that's not 75 9/11s.
Yeah, that wasn't 75 9/11s. Maybe there's some version. I wonder what the Atlantis version of 9/11 is.
I guess the fall of Atlantis.
Yeah, I know, but what do they? I mean, like, what do they call it though?
So it was like 1.5 falls.
Also, just the quick, one of the best, just like 3 seconds of that movie was when they're like, we unlocked unlimited energy, and they used it to have fucking mechs walking around. That's the kind of.
Oh man, when they showed that, I'm like, no. Oh my god, I love this.
They're like, before the fall of Atlantis, we had unlimited energy, and it's like, okay, cool, so like teleportation and shit, right? Fuck them, nope, mechs.
We were really into diesel punk.
They were like, yeah.
Sorry.
It was very diesel punk future past.
So, next week, we are doing a special Christmas show. And
I just learned that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, neither did I, and I just said it. So, special Christmas show, and I'd like to do Vice, but we could probably save that to the end of the week because Christmas is on a Tuesday. So you know what that means.
What comes out next week other than Sherlock Holmes?
Holmes and Watson.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, we'll do that one. That's what we'll do.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, stay tuned for that. And all that's gonna be. Yeah, so thanks for watching. Thanks. Thank you. Carson, Nick, Glasshouse Films,
I don't feel good about that outro at all.
YouTube.com/GlassFilmsHouse, Facebook.com/GlassHouseFilms, and Twitter @GlassHouseFilms. Thank you so much. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment below what you thought, and we will see you Tuesday for a special Christmas outing for Holmes and Watson.
Christmas. Gotta love it.